Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 36. Wonderful stories of first one, two Goa gentlemen, and the second one, Mrs. Aurangabadkar. This chapter relates the wonderful stories of two gentlemen from Goa and Mrs. Aurangabadkar of Sholapur. Two gentlemen. Once two gentlemen came from Goa for taking darshan of Sai Baba and prostrated themselves before him. Though both came together, Baba asked only one of them to give rupees 15 as dakshina, which was willingly paid. The other man voluntarily offered rupees 35. The sum was rejected by Baba to the astonishment of all. Shama, who was present there, asked Baba, "What is this? Both of them came together. Once dakshina you accept, the others, though voluntarily paid, you refuse. Why this distinction?" Baba replied, "Shama, you know nothing. I take nothing from anybody. The masjid Mai calls for the debt. The donor pays it and becomes free. Have I any home, property, or family to look after? I require nothing. I am free. Debt from death, enmity, and murder have to be atoned for. This is not escape." Baba then continued in his characteristic way as follows. As first he was poor and took a vow to his God that he would pay his first month's salary if he got an appointment. He got one on rupees 15 per month. Then he steadily got promotion. From 15 he got 30, 60, 100, 200 and ultimately rupees 700 per month. But in his prosperity he forgot to clean the vow he took. The force of this karma has driven him here, and I asked him amount, that is rupees 15 from him, as dakshina. Another story. While wandering by the seaside, I came to a huge mansion and sat on the veranda. The owner gave me a good reception and fed me sumptuously. He showed me a neat and clean place near a cupboard for sleeping. I slept there. While I was sound asleep, the man removed a latrine slab and broke the wall, entered in, and scissored off all the money from my pocket. When I woke up, I found that 30,000 rupees were stolen. I was greatly distressed and sat weeping and mourning. The money in currency notes, and I thought that the Brahmin had stolen it. I lost all interest in food and drink and sat for a fortnight in the veranda, bemoaning my loss. After the fortnight was over, a passing fakir saw me crying and made inquiries regarding the cause of my sorrow. I told him everything. He said, "If you act according to your bidding, you will recover your money. Go to the fakir, I shall give his whereabouts, surrender yourself to him. He will get your money. In the meanwhile, give up your favorite food until you recover your money." I followed the fakir's advice and got my money. Then I left the veranda and went to the seashore. There was a steamer, but I could not get into it as it was crowded. There was a good-natured peon, interceded for me and got in lucky. That brought me to another shore where I caught a train and came to Masjid Mai. The story finished and Baba asked Shama to take the guests and arrange for feeding. Then Shama took them home and fed them. At dinner, Shama said to the guests that Baba's story was rather mysterious, as he had never gone to the seaside, never had any money, never travelled, never lost any money, and never recovered it, and inquired whether they understood it and caught its significance. The guests were deeply moved and were shedding tears. In a choking voice, they said that Baba is omniscient, infinite, and Parabrahma, without a second. The story he gave out was exactly our story. What he spoke has already taken place in our case. How we knew this is a wonder of wonders. We shall give all the details after the meals. Then after the meals, they were chewing betel leaves and the guests began to tell their story one by one. A hill station on the Ghats is my native place. I went to Goa to earn my living by securing a job. I took a word to God Dattatreya that if I got my service, I would offer him my first month's salary. By his grace, I got an appointment of rupees 15 and then I got promotion as described by Baba. I did forget all my woe. Baba then reminded me of this way and recovered rupees 15 from me. It is not dakshina as one may think it to be, but a repayment of an old debt and fulfillment of long forgotten woe. Moral. Baba never in fact usually begged any money nor allowed his bhaktas to beg. He regarded money as a danger or a bar to spiritual progress and did not allow his bhaktas to fall into the clutches. Bhagat Malsabati is an instance on this point. He was very poor and could hardly make both the ends meet. Baba never allowed him to take any money nor gave him anything from the dakshina amount. Once a kind and liberal merchant named Hansraj gave a large amount of money to Malsabati in Baba's presence, but Baba did not allow him to accept it. Then the second guest began his tale. My Brahman, that is the cook, was serving me faithfully for 35 years. Unfortunately, he fell into bad ways. His mind changed and he robbed me of my treasure by removing a laterite slab from a wall where my cupboard is fixed. He came in while we were all asleep and carried all the accumulated wealth, that is rupees 30,000 in currency notes. I don't know how Baba mentioned the exact amount. I sat crying day and night. My inquiries came to nothing. I spent a fortnight in great anxiety As I sat in the veranda, sad and dejected, a passing fakir noted my condition and inquired of my cause. I told him all about it. He told me that an Avela by name Sai lives in Shirdi, Kopargaon Taluka. Make woe to him and give up your food that you like the best, and say to him mentally that I have given up eating the food till I take your darshan. Then I took the vow and gave up eating and said, Baba, I will eat it, and after recovering my property and after taking your darshan. 15 days passed after this. The Brahmin of his own accord came to me, returned my money, and apologized, saying, I went mad and acted thus. I now place my head on your feet. Please forgive me. Thus everything ended well. The fakir then met me and helped me, was not seen again. An intensive desire to see Sai Baba, whom the fakir pointed out to me, arose in my mind. I thought that the fakir who came to me all my house was none other than Sai Baba. Would he, who saw me and helped me to get my lost money? On the contrary, without expecting anything from us, he always tries his best to lead us on the path of spiritual progress. I was overjoyed when I recovered my stolen property, and being infatuated, I forgot about my woe. Then, when I was at Kolaba one night, I saw Baba in my dream. This reminded me of my promised visit to Shirdi. I went to Goa from there and wanted to start for Shirdi by taking a steamer to Bombay en route. But when I came to harbour, I found that the steamer was crowded and there was no place. The captain did not allow me, but on the intercession of a peon, who was a stranger to me, I was allowed to get into the steamer, which brought me to Bombay. From there, I got into the train and came here. Surely I think that Baba is all-pervading and all-knowing. What are we and where is our home? How great our good fortune that Baba got our money back and drew us here to himself. You Shirdi folk must be infinitely superior and more fortunate than we, for Baba has played, laughed, talked and lived with you for many years. I think that your store of good merits must be infinity, for it attracted Baba to Shirdi. Sai Satcharitra. He ordered the bow. He gave us a seat in the steamer and brought us here, and thus gave us proof of his omniscience and omnipotence. Mrs. Aurangabadkar, a lady from Sholapur, wife of Shakaram Aurangabadkar, had no issue during the long period of 27 years. She had made a number of vows to gods and goddesses for an issue, but was not successful. She then became hopeless. To make a last attempt in this matter, she came to Shirdi with her stepson Vishwanath and stayed there for 2 months, serving Baba. Whenever she went to the masjid, she found it full and Baba surrounded by devotees. She wanted to see Baba alone, fall at his feet and open her heart and pray for the issue. But she got no suitable opportunity. Ultimately, she requested Shama to intercede with Baba for her when he was alone. Shama said to her that Baba's darbar was open, still he would try for her and that the Lord might bless her. He asked her to sit ready with a coconut and joystick on the open courtyard at the time of Baba's meals, and that when he beckoned to her, she should come up. One day after dinner, Shama was rubbing Baba's wet hands and the towel when the latter pinched Shama's cheek. Shama, feigning anger, said, Deva, is this the proper for you to pinch me like this? We don't want such a mysterious guru who pinches us thus. As we are your dependents, is this the fruit of intimacy? Baba replied, Oh Shama, during the 72 generations that you were with me, I never pinched you till now, and you resent me touching you. Shama, we want a God that will give us ever kisses and sweets to eat. We do not want any respect from you or heaven, balloon, etc. Let our faith unto your feet be ever wide awakened. Baba, yes, I have indeed come for that. I have been feeding and nursing you and have to love and affectionate for you. Then Baba went up and took a seat. Shama beckoned to the lady. She came up, bowed and presented the coconut and joysticks. Baba shook the coconut, which was dry. The kernel within rolled and made a noise. Baba said, Shama, this is rolling. See what it says. Shama. The woman prays that a child might be similarly rolling and quickening in the womb. So give her the coconut with your blessing. Baba. Will the coconut give her any issue? How people are foolish and fancy such things. Shama. I know the power of your words and blessing. Your word will give a string of series of children. You are wrangling and not giving real blessing. The parley went on for a while. Baba repeatedly ordered to break the coconut and Shama pleaded for the gift of the unbroken fruit to the lady. Finally, Baba yielded and said, She will have an issue. When? Asked Shama. In 12 months was the reply. The coconut was then broken into 2 parts. One was eaten by the two and the other was given to the lady. The Shama turned to the lady and said, Dear madam, you are a witness to my words. If within 12 months you do not get an issue, I will break a coconut against Deva's head and driving away out from the masjid. If I fail in this, I will not call myself Madhav. You will soon realize what I say. She delivered a son in 1 year's time, and the son was brought to Shirdi in his 5th month. Both husband and wife prostrated themselves before Baba, and grateful father, Mr. Aurangabadkar, paid a sum of rupees 500, which was spent in the construction of a shed for Baba's horse Shamakarni. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all.